Some people say love makes you do crazy things, but this isn't a story about love. This is a story about obsession, manipulation, and a woman so consumed by jealousy that she orchestrated one of the most brutal murders Texas has ever seen. And the victim? A young mother who never saw it coming. Before we dive into this shocking case, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the American Shadow family. This story is one of the most twisted, most disturbing cases we've covered. Drop your state in the comments below. Let's grow this community together. This is the story of Alyssa Burkett, Andrew Beard, and Holly Elkins. A love triangle that ended in blood, lies, and a level of violence that left even seasoned detectives shaken. October 2nd, 2020. Carrollton, Texas, just north of Dallas. It's a normal Friday morning. People are heading to work. The sun is rising. Life is moving forward like any other day. 24-year-old Alyssa Burkett pulls into the parking lot of the Green Tree Apartments, where she works as an assistant property manager. She parks in her usual spot. She's got her coffee. She's ready to start her day. She has no idea that in the next few minutes her life will end in the most horrific way imaginable. A black Ford Expedition SUV pulls up next to her car. Alyssa doesn't think much of it. It's a parking lot. Cars come and go. But then, the driver's door opens. A man steps out. He's wearing dark makeup on his face. He's holding a gun. And before Alyssa can react, he fires. The bullet shatters her car window. It hits her directly in the face, destroying her left eye. The impact is devastating, but somehow, miraculously, Alyssa is still alive. She opens her car door, blood pouring down her face. She stumbles toward the building, trying to get help. She knows her co-workers are inside. She's desperate, she's terrified, and she's fighting for her life. But the shooter isn't done. He gets out of the SUV again. This time he's holding something different, a large hunting knife, and he sprints toward Alyssa. What happens next is almost too horrific to describe. The man stabs Alyssa, over and over and over again. She fights back. She tries to get away. There's a blood handprint smeared on the window where she tried to bang on the glass, begging anyone to help her. But her co-workers, thinking it's an active shooter situation, stay inside, and the attacker keeps stabbing. 44 times. 44 times he plunges that knife into her body. By the time he's done, Alyssa Burkett is dead, and the killer flees the scene, leaving behind a devastated family, a traumatized community, and a 1-year-old daughter named Willow, who will never know her mother. When police arrived, they started piecing together what happened. Witnesses described the attacker as a black man. He was wearing dark makeup, a fake beard, the whole disguise. It looked like a random attack. But Alyssa's mother, Teresa Collard, knew better. She immediately gave police a name: Andrew Beard. Andrew Beard was Alyssa's ex-boyfriend. More importantly, he was the father of her daughter, Willow. And for the past year, he had made Alyssa's life a living hell. Alyssa and Andrew met on a dating app in 2018. She was 22, he was 31. They had a brief fling, nothing serious. But then Alyssa got pregnant, and everything changed. When Alyssa told Andrew she was pregnant, he didn't react the way most people would. He didn't offer support. He didn't talk about co-parenting. Instead, he asked her if he could have full custody of the baby after it was born. Alyssa was stunned. She wasn't even showing yet, and this man was already trying to take her child away from her. But Alyssa was strong. She decided to keep the baby. On July 23, 2019, she gave birth to a beautiful baby girl she named Willow. And for a while, things seemed okay. Andrew had joint custody. He saw Willow a few days a week. They worked out a visitation schedule. It wasn't perfect, but it was manageable. And then, in the spring of 2020, Andrew met someone new. Her name was Holly Elkins. Holly Elkins was 36 years old. She was from Michigan, and from the moment she entered Andrew's life, everything changed. At first, Alyssa was relieved. She thought maybe Andrew would calm down, stop harassing her, stop dragging her into court every few months. Holly even sent Alyssa a friendly text. She said she looked forward to having a super healthy relationship with Alyssa and her boyfriend Ben. Alyssa responded positively. She said she hoped Holly's influence would help, because she wanted nothing more than for everyone to have a healthy relationship. But that friendly message was a lie, because behind the scenes, Holly Elkins hated Alyssa with a burning passion. Shortly after Holly entered the picture, Andrew's behavior toward Alyssa became even more hostile. He started demanding primary custody of Willow again. He dragged Alyssa back into court. He became rude, hateful, aggressive, and Alyssa started to feel like she was being watched. She told her friends and family that Andrew always seemed to know where she was. She'd be out with friends at a bar in downtown Dallas, and suddenly Andrew would show up. She didn't know how he was tracking her, but she knew she was being tracked. And she was right. After Alyssa's death, police found a tracking device on her car. They also found charging stations and batteries for that device in Andrew's home. He had been stalking her, watching her every move, waiting. But the stalking was just the beginning. In September 2020, 1 month before Alyssa's murder, a man who identified himself as Frank Marrow called 911. He reported that Alyssa was selling drugs out of the trunk of her car at work. He gave the dispatcher her license plate number, the make and model of her car, and said he could see and smell the drugs. Police showed up at Alyssa's workplace. They confronted her. They opened her trunk. And inside, they found drugs, a pistol, and cash, exactly where the callers said they would be. Alyssa was horrified. She had no idea how those things got there. She didn't sell drugs. She didn't own a gun. Someone had planted them, and she knew exactly who that someone was. After questioning Alyssa, police agreed. The drugs and gun had been planted. The caller, Frank Marrow, didn't exist. And later, when they searched Andrew's home, they found an envelope with notes scribbled on the back. Alyssa's license plate number, the color and model of her car, the name Frank Marrow, everything he needed to make that 911 call. It was a setup, and it had Holly Elkins written all over it. After the drug plant failed to get Alyssa arrested, Alyssa sent a text to her roommate Shelby. She said, "He is going to try to get someone to kill me next." Shelby was terrified. Alyssa wasn't a fearful person. The fact that she was asking for help meant she was genuinely scared, and she had every reason to be. Alyssa started sending her sister Madison texts like, "Come over while I walk inside. Lock the door behind you. Do you see anyone around you?" She was living in constant fear, and 1 month later, she was dead. Within hours of the murder, police pulled over Andrew Beard's pickup truck for a traffic violation. Andrew, his fiancée Holly Elkins, and baby Willow were inside. Andrew was calm. Too calm. He didn't seem nervous. He didn't seem worried. He acted like nothing had happened. Police seized his truck but let him go. That night they searched his house, and what they found was jaw-dropping. They found the envelope with the Frank Marrow notes. They found tracking devices. They found charging stations. And they found makeup. Dark makeup. The kind you would use to disguise yourself as someone of a different race. The next day they found the black SUV Andrew had used in the murder. It was abandoned less than a mile from his house. Inside they found Alyssa's blood. They found a fake beard. They found evidence of the disguise. And they found Andrew on a home security camera, running through the neighborhood after abandoning the vehicle. 3 days after Alyssa's murder, Andrew Beard was arrested and charged with murder. His mother was devastated. She insisted they had the wrong man. Holly Elkins agreed. She told police there was no way her fiancé could do something like this. But Andrew eventually confessed. And when he did, he told investigators something that shocked everyone. He said Holly Elkins was the mastermind. She planned the whole thing. She told him what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, and he did it because she made him feel like he had to prove himself to her. In text messages between Andrew and Holly, the manipulation was clear. Holly wrote, "I don't want anyone who is a pussy to some lowlife or a pushover. I want a man who protects his women and child before anyone, and doesn't give two Fs otherwise." She was challenging his manhood. She was telling him that if he didn't handle Alyssa, he wasn't worthy of her love. And it worked. Andrew told investigators that the drug plant was Holly's idea. The disguise was Holly's idea. The murder itself, Holly's idea. She orchestrated everything. And when it was done, she asked Andrew to describe the murder to her while they were in bed together. Detectives called it one of the most degrading things they'd ever heard. In May 2023, Andrew Beard was sentenced to 43 years in federal prison. But Holly Elkins was still free. She had left Texas and moved back to Michigan. She got a new condo, a new car, a new boyfriend. She acted like nothing had happened, but investigators weren't done. In July 2023, almost 3 years after Alyssa's death, Holly Elkins was arrested by federal agents at the Miami airport as she returned from a trip to the Dominican Republic. She was charged with conspiracy to stalk and stalking using a dangerous weapon resulting in death. The FBI had built a rock-solid case against her. They had her phone records. They had her text messages. They had evidence tying her to the tracking device, the ammunition, the knife, and the makeup. In April 2024, Holly Elkins went on trial. And in the courtroom, prosecutors made one thing clear. Andrew Beard is a monster, but he was Holly Elkins' monster. After a 1-week trial, the jury took just 90 minutes to deliberate. When they returned, the verdict was unanimous. Guilty. Holly Elkins was sentenced to 2 life terms in federal prison. She will never be free again. So why did Holly do it? What was her motive? Investigators believe it was simple. Jealousy. Holly wanted Willow. She wanted to be Willow's mother. She wanted a perfect family. And Alyssa was standing in her way. In Holly's phone, Alyssa's contact name was saved as C-word baby mama. Holly called Alyssa ugly, fat, a bad mom. None of it was true. But Holly hated her, and she wanted her gone. Detectives believe that if Holly and Andrew had never met, Alyssa would still be alive today. Andrew may have been the one who pulled the trigger and wielded the knife. But Holly was the puppet master. She pulled the strings, and she got exactly what she wanted. Until justice caught up with her. Today, Alyssa's mother, Teresa Collard, is in the process of adopting Willow. Willow, who is now 5 years old, is starting to ask questions about her mom. One day, she asked her grandmother if her mom had a phone number in heaven. It's heartbreaking. But Teresa is determined to make sure Willow knows how much her mother loved her, how much Alyssa fought to protect her, how much she wanted to give Willow a beautiful life. Alyssa Burkett was 24 years old when she died. She was a young mother working hard, trying to build a life for herself and her daughter. She didn't deserve what happened to her. No one does. This case is a reminder that jealousy can be deadly, that manipulation can turn someone into a killer, and that sometimes the most dangerous person isn't the one holding the weapon, it's the one whispering in their ear. If you or someone you know is being stalked, harassed, or threatened, please reach out for help. Contact local law enforcement. File a restraining order. Don't wait. Don't assume it will get better, because in Alyssa's case, waiting cost her everything. Thank you for watching American Shadow. If this story moved you, hit that like button, share this video, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss our content. Drop your state in the comments below. Let's keep Alyssa's memory alive. Rest in peace, Alyssa Burkett. You deserved so much better. Until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and remember, if you see something, say something. Your voice could save a life.